In today's video, we're going to discuss the newly leaked Mercer University phone call between alumni staff at Mercer, and they were unaware that Lin Wood was also on the phone call. We'll discuss that, newly released evidence from the Hunter Biden laptop, as well as President Trump's phony impeachment hearings that are still, for some reason, happening. Let's go. In the past few days, Lin Wood has been very vocal about his stance, and he is sticking to his guns, as well he should, if he has evidence like he says. He has made latest headlines for leaking the audio phone call between Mercer staff and alumni and his law school where he donated $1 million to, where they were on the call viciously slandering him and outright lying about him. They didn't know that he was on the call, and when he couldn't take it anymore, he spoke up and began defending his honor. I'm going to play a clip of his response to them for the full version. You can get that on my Telegram at RTNTV. And just moments ago, Lin Wood released a statement concerning releasing Ashley Biden's diary. He says, quote, "I feel morally compelled given that our institutions have captured and didn't do anything about the Hunter Biden laptop," end quote. Now, I have read some pages of her diary, and there are some very serious accusations in there. Ashley Biden wrote in her diary, quote, "Was I molested? I think so. I can't remember specifics, but I do remember trauma. I remember not liking the woolzacks house. I remember somewhat being sexualized with Caroline. I remember having sex with friends at a young age, showering with my dad, probably inappropriate," end quote. Now I'm going to stop here. There's a lot more. There's over 100 pages of the diary. This diary was lodged on nationalfile.com and is available to the public, and the FBI hasn't even investigated this. They didn't investigate these allegations. What the heck is going on with them? This diary from Ashley Biden can be found online. Anyone can go to nationalfile.com and look it up. I'm going to make the full version available on my Telegram account at RTNTV, just because I do believe that everyone should be able to read the truth and decide for them what they want to believe with their own moral compass. I'm not going to sit here and read this whole diary, that's for sure. But you can definitely download it on your own time when you have time and take a look at it. I guess they don't call him Joe the Sniffer for no reason. Now let's move on. Now when it comes to the new President Trump impeachment, that's a complete sham. Not only is it a sham, but it's a shame to the country. What the Democrats are doing to our country right now is really just trying to divide us a little more and tear us apart. Because what's the purpose of an impeachment? The purpose of an impeachment is to remove someone from office. So why would you impeach someone that's already out of office? He is already out of office. If anything, this is just a symbolic measure. I don't know what the symbol is, what's so symbolic about destroying the country and making us even more divided, make it even more divisive, more polarized. And the outcome is what? He's not going to be removed from office because he's not in office. Not only that, if you look at the articles of impeachment, which are also available to the general public, you'll see that, I quote Rudy Giuliani, he said, "This is a bloviation." They're just bloviating the senators, whoever drew up these impeachment articles. There's no facts, there's no witnesses, there's no evidence. They didn't name any of the Trump supporters, quote, that went into the riot. Not only that, they're saying that Donald Trump needs to be impeached because he incited the riot. However, there's new evidence that's come out that's shown that it was a pre-planned attack. They're trying to say it was a pre-planned attack that was orchestrated on Parler by the Trump supporters. However, there have already been arrests, and the BLM leader was arrested, and he's on audio and video saying, "I have a knife, burn this MF down," or something along those lines. So he was arrested and charged. So these are facts. So now they're saying it was a pre-planned event, whatever you want to call it, but they just voted to impeach President Donald Trump for inciting a riot. How did he incite the riot if it was pre-planned, and that's why they're saying they need to shut down Parler? No, something's not right. To make it worse, impeachments are for people that are holding office. So trying to impeach a civilian right now, that can't even be done. And as I make this video, Republicans voted against trying to determine this as an unconstitutional impeachment. So here we go again. We have both sides aligning, as it usually is. They're anti-Trump because he incited a riot. He incited a riot, but we know that it was pre-planned on Parler. How could it be pre-planned and he incited it? It can't be both. It could be one or the other, but it can't be both. So pick which one you want it to be. And then take a look at the arrests. Who got arrested for starting the riot or going into the Capitol building? And I believe it was the Boogaloo, or whatever their name is. I've never even heard of them. Boogaloo group that's claiming responsibility, says that they worked with Antifa and BLM to orchestrate the riot. Okay, so we have all this. This is evidence. Where's due process for President Trump? This is unconstitutional in a lot of different ways and unprecedented. They're pushing through an impeachment where the president or the defendant, whatever you want to call him, has no due process. He can't call witnesses. He can't present evidence. He can't cross-examine. He can't do anything. He could present witnesses or show that it was BLM that was in there, or Antifa, or whoever it was that was in there, but it wasn't Trump supporters. He could show that that when he was speaking at the rally, it was not by the Capitol, and people didn't really go there and then go home and pick up all these specific type of tools to break in. That wasn't them. That wasn't Trump supporters. That wasn't even Americans, Trump supporters. I don't believe in the word Trump supporters, because people that support Biden, what are they called? Are they called Biden supporters? No. People that supported Bush, are they called Bush supporters? No. So only people that support Trump, they're called Trump supporters. They're not called Republicans. They're not called people. They're called Trump supporters. So that's the first step, to try to demoralize us or something. Oh, wait, what did Hillary say? Basket of deplorables. Yeah, well, that's why we booted you out. You didn't get elected. That's why you had to, as Joe Biden said, we created the largest voter fraud network. I mean, as his handler says, what? Get him off the camera right now. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's telling the truth for once. So basically, we have a phony impeachment going on. This is just for show. And you know what it's showing? It's showing you who really is a true American patriot and who is not. Look at, what is it, McCain or Cheney, one of them, both of them. Look at, it's just ridiculous. I don't even want to name names. Look at Mitt Romney. I guarantee you Mitt Romney was one of the Republicans that voted against trying to not have this impeachment go through because it is unconstitutional. I would put some money on that, but since I'm not a betting man, I can't bet. But if I was, I'd make a ton of money on that bet, wouldn't I, Mitt? Anyways, I digress. I recommend all of you really check out Rudy Giuliani's page as well, because he really goes into it, and he's a very skilled, crafted lawyer. He knows how to present the legal argument and the facts, and you could listen to him and you could discern exactly what the truth is. And that's why he's also been censored. He did a great job during 9/11, brought the country together. It was an amazing thing that time. Now look what the media is doing to him, because he's trying to present election irregularities or supposed election irregularities in certain states. And now he's a cuckoo. We really need to straighten up our act in America. Right now, we're a joke. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is half the time. Sometimes when I look in his eyes, and it just looks like he's lost. Like he doesn't even know where he is. Like he needs guidance. And he does. He's going to need a lot of guidance, hopefully guided by the military. Now, if you could do me a favor and press the like button, and let's get this word out to the patriots. It's the only way. And one last note that I want to share with you guys. I have done a few videos on the 2018 executive order and what I thought would be happening. And in normal circumstances, all that would happen, and it still could. But as I research and see more and more of what's going on, like Joe Biden just announced his new pick for Secretary of Defense and Director of National Intelligence, these are some of the top appointees that would be tasked with actioning the executive order. Now, I still believe that whether Democrat or American, people hold on to their American values, and there are patriots on both sides of the aisle. Upper echelons of the parties that are just corrupted. So, assuming that are Biden loyalists or Obama loyalists, assuming that they are true Americans and not compromised, then I still do expect all the actions to take place that I read in my last videos concerning the 2018 executive order. However, if his appointees have been compromised, because even if they're military, people are people. Money corrupts. And we all know the saying about absolute power. So we just have to hope and pray that they are not compromised. And then they will be true American patriots, whether Democrat or Republican. People try to convince you that a patriot is a bad person, or maybe not a bad person, but a conservative. No, a patriot is just someone that loves their country. Okay, Democrats can love their country too. We might disagree in policies, but Democrats and Republicans love their country, most of them, except for the ones that are taking the money from China. Those are the ones we need to get out of office. But if they are American patriots, they could be Democrats put in office by Joe Biden, and if they're presented with allegations of fraud, they'll still take action when necessary, and they still may. Let's just hope that they haven't been compromised, because then the executive order doesn't mean it's not worth the paper that it's written on. Anyways, if you like this video, please help out the movement and press the like button so we can get this out to all the patriots. It's the only way. If you would like to see more evidence, you can get it on my Telegram account at RTN TV. Until next time.
He went back and forth with me a little bit, and I think calmed down when I told him that no decision had been made and that I'm concerned about him and that kind of thing.
Dean Cox?
Yes.
Dean Cox, you're not accurately portraying the text messages that I sent you.
Oh, Lin's on the call.
I am on the call. And I am embarrassed for the profession of law that you're practicing right now.
Okay. Well,
You
please
did not come to me and ask me at any time over the past year, express to me any concerns about me. You're taking what has been used as propaganda to attack me without even giving me the courtesy of due process. I want your students to keep in mind the following. I have exercised my right of free speech. Some people believe in Trump, some people don't. I hope we all believe in the right of free speech. I have also actively sought as a lawyer to pursue evidence.
This meeting is being recorded.
Overwhelming evidence of what I believe was election fraud, both in the state of Georgia and across the nation. I've been joined in that investigation with a number of very skilled and professional lawyers. I've also been joined in that investigation with General Michael Flynn, who served his country for 30 years. He's a fine man. The only other thing I've done is that I have been privy to receiving information which I investigated for credibility that would show some very dark corruption in high-ranking members of our government. I would think it is a lawyer's duty, when presented with that information and deemed credible, to bring it to the public's attention.